prices are available. Want the finest in work clothes? Famous Carhartt work clothes are available too. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 9 till 5, and Friday and Saturday, 9 a.m. till 5:30. Next to Kia 15th Street, Panama City. Remember what Joe always said, keep Jesus in your life every day.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DN Marianna, WFLQ Port St. John, Paula Hesse, ESPN Northwest Fire Sunshine Campers. It's a brand new day.
What a lovely morning.
Good morning, starshine.
You seem happy this morning.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming in early.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local. Live from the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And good morning, Hot Tub. The hot tub is hot and the fog is out. You're listening to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, 102.1 Marianna, 101.9 Port St. Joe. Today is Thursday, one of my favorite days because I get two of my favorite people in the world in here. Tommy Santamont, the legendary County AD, Hall of Famer. Tommy, how you doing this morning?
Good. That's what you say every day. You're so glad that day is there because so-and-so going to be here.
No.
Is that what?
Go ask them.
Okay.
Go ask
all
them.
right.
Matter of fact, some of them, I tell them to their face, I really don't like you, but I need you here doing the show. Jim Brandt. No, okay. No, we love all of our people. But Jeremy, how are you doing, sir?
Doing well. Hope you had a good spring break.
Yeah, what did you guys do?
We kept a very low profile. Just
stay in town. Or
yeah, we were around. We did go visit relatives close by, but just kind of got our feet back up under us.
Who's that slugger? I saw one of your sons.
Oh, we are playing wee ball now. Yeah, Jordan is on the field. So
he can play now, Tommy. I'm telling you.
That's the best thing. You know, they hit the ball, and the next thing you know, we got a dog pile, and they're all wrestling for it. Funny thing, though, in the first game, their ball was hit, 4 or 5 of them on top of each other, and the ball squirts out. And Jordan hollers fumble.
He was listening to Daddy of college football. Oh my God! Now, is your daughter? Is she completely well from her injury? She's back playing.
Both girls are on the court tonight. We've got our spring volleyball season going on at First United Methodist Church. So we've got opening night tonight. So Ryan Mulvey's laying in wait somewhere, to bring out his
watch
team.
him now. He's scouting you. I guarantee you. You can't trust him. He is a competitor. He gets
through and through. Yeah,
he's a great. I'm gonna tell you, he coaches all sports, Tommy. Soccer. I think he's coached basketball, football. And he's really good now. He gets into it, and we need more people like that.
He shouldn't give up golf and go into coaching full time.
He is. I'm telling you, he's coaching full time.
He's coaching flag football and volleyball. But the girls take the volleyball court tonight. Jordan will be back on the field Saturday out at Sudeth Park, and he couldn't really understand why we had to go over to Woods. I said, well, we're the visiting team. It's an away game. You're traveling, So he's learning all the basics here.
I get back to Ryan Mulvey. Both his kids are really good athletes. Mm-hmm. Really good. Mm-hmm. Whatever they play, they're really good in. Tommy, Louise sent some pictures. You had a great time spring break. Where'd y'all go?
We took our daughter and 2 grandkids out to Bryce and Zion National Park in the Grand Canyon, flew into Las Vegas, and then drove around.
Did you get to do any hunting? I know you were dying to kill something. Did you?
I only saw probably about 10 deer the whole time, mule deer, but it was too much snow. All I could see was snow. I mean, we had lots of snow.
What kind of vehicle did y'all rent when y'all got out there?
A Suburban. It's 4-wheel drive.
Was that pretty good in the snow driving?
Yeah, I had no problem at all. Most of the roads were clean, but when you get off the side roads in some of those little towns, it's snow on the ground. But other than that, it was fine.
Well, that's good. Jeremy, we went to Orlando and did Disney one night, stayed there, then went over to Universal, had a great time. Our grandkids loved it. So that was just, when I didn't care what it cost, I saw Julie and Leighton and Lorelai hugging, loving on each other. I said, hey, it was worth it, man.
Remember what I told you?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Is your daughter doing well? Is she?
Oh, yeah. She was my navigator. Boy, she's a great navigator, man. She would lead us to every hotel and place where we had to be there. She's really good.
Now, I left you two guys about a couple weeks ago, And I think it was on a Thursday. I just want to know what's happening. Did y'all jinx Mosley baseball? Are y'all behind the pitching count, or did y'all have anything to do with that?
Wow, what a strange story, turn of events. And Tommy and I were talking about it. We were at a ball game Tuesday night at Dick Hauser for the Florida State, and the pitch count thing's relatively new to high school baseball. It's been around a few years, but the different states have different rules, and the games, I believe, were out-of-state games.
Is it Auburn?
Yep. So do those rules apply when a Florida team? I mean, Doug can answer some of those questions for us, maybe. But
I bet legally he could have won that because out of state. I was thinking the same thing. I don't care if he signs up or not. You're in a different state. They have their own set of rules.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, the process is there is a baseball committee of baseball coaches who meet, and they come up with these revisions and like pitch count, all that stuff. But what they decide don't work. Then it goes to an athletic directors committee, and they review all these things, and they decide whether they're going to keep it or not. If they keep it, then it goes to the board to be voted on. Is one of the rules.
Well, let me ask you, go back, Tommy. When you say are you talking county ADs or are you talking school ADs?
Either one. It could be either one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's if you're an athletic director, you can serve on that committee.
Okay. Then it goes to the Florida High School Athletic Association?
To the board of directors to be voted on.
And then they look at everything and decide. Yeah. How would they come up with how long was it, 12 months?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
12 months has been. I mean, I'm like, are you kidding me?
Now that would be by the FHSA, by the commissioner himself. And
so why did they come out with that all of a sudden? I mean, that to me, that was ridiculous.
I don't know.
And I'm sorry, 13 games is too much. I would say a week or 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Suspend somebody for 2 weeks.
And you can always appeal it, which that's what Mosley did. And when they appealed it, of course, he's going. The regular season, he's going, you got 13 games, which that's going to be the end of the season. But he can participate in the playoffs. Yeah.
Hopefully, we're going to try to get John. We're going to call Doug Lee today. I talked to Doug yesterday. He's going to come on the show and share some information with us, and then go from there. He'll tell us who's going to interim coach is going to be, how they're going to handle all those things. So a lot of questions on what's going on at Mosley.
Absolutely.
We'll try to get some of the answers to that.
Well, then you look at consistency across leagues. I mean, these travel ball teams, they come around, and I doubt very seriously these same type of rules apply. I don't know if you've ever followed that Coach Casey Smith 13U. It's a satire feed on Twitter, but he gets everybody riled up thinking that it's legit. And he'll say, just give a kid 7 ibuprofen and tell him to go pump 7 more innings.
I like that guy. That's pretty good. Do you think we'll ever get to a point when it comes to, you play too many plays on defense, you get him hit in the head too much, you threw the passes too much, you got to come out? I don't think football will ever get to like that.
But we are getting to how can we play more games and speed them up and get them over with?
That's what kills me. We care about the safety of the players. Man, we're going to make a lot of money in this playoff system.
Let's add some
more games. Let's add some games.
Yeah.
They're so. It's like dealing with the government. I mean, they just lie. But really, Jeremy, I don't know if I want the game speeded up. I kind of like the way college football is.
I do too.
Whether I'm watching on TV or I've driven, to Tuscaloosa, I've already made the commitment.
Yeah.
If it takes 3 hours, it takes 3:20. I don't care.
We have a great time. It's fun at the game.
I enjoyed the 6 overtime LSU Texas A&M game, and now we're trying to speed overtime up.
Don't end it. Let them keep playing.
Keep on.
Anyway, I hate that. I guess if they've finalized anything yet, I haven't kept up with it lately.
No, I haven't heard.
Not too much as far as any official changes on the speed, but we were over at Hauser, as I mentioned, and you've got the pitch clocks and all, but Tommy, it's still a 3-hour ball game because we had 7 pitching changes.
Go back to
8 pitchers, 8 different
the pitching count. How does that work on when he calls strike ball, then it cranks up right then the time for the next pitch to be pitched? Mm-hmm. How long is that?
Yeah, and if the batter has a certain number of seconds to get in the box when the pitcher's ready to throw, and so I can see some of those things having an impact. But baseball's never been a game on the clock.
No, man.
Yeah, it's number of outs, and however many outs you have, as long as you hadn't had your last out, there's still a chance you can come back. We saw some of that in the College World Series playoffs last year, and Kennesaw State and LSU. Kennesaw should have blown LSU away, but couldn't finish them off.
I think that's why softball has gotten so popular. I love watching college softball. The girls, they're pumped up, they're excited, and it does move quick now. It's moving right
It's
quick.
a much
Baseball,
faster game.
Yeah, it is.
I don't particularly like to watch baseball on TV, but it's really neat to go to the stadium like the other night. That was a neat experience being there and watching there.
But isn't it crazy though? We say that, but every time there's like the playoffs start, you start watching, especially College World Series. I love college games. I love watching college baseball.
No, but college is.
Well, not only talking about the comparison to softball and the baseball, the women only play 7 innings.
Yeah,
I mean,
That's right.
do
and
you ever think it'll go to that?
I would prefer 7-inning ball game over 9 innings. If that meant if we're going to want to speed the game up, let's cut those last 2 innings off.
Yeah,
they should have cut the last 5 innings off.
All right, I got to get that. John, how much time we got? Okay, good. Let's do this. I get a call from Tommy. He goes, "Hey, I got your ticket to the game. Are you going to come?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, I forgot to tell you about we're already here." So what was that about? How much did it cost to go over there? Was that a church function?
Yeah. At First United Methodist Church, there we carried a bus load. I think 54.
It was packed
54.
out, man. You sent me a picture. One of you sent me a picture.
Somebody took. I think Carl took the picture. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think
we loaded up a charter bus, and probably 70-30 Seminole fans. Decked out
cool,
garden
man.
gold.
That was neat. Y'all did that.
Yeah, it was a fun trip. Left about 2:45, rolled right up to. That's the thing with those charter buses. They just pulled us right up to the left field gate, and we walked in.
Did they know y'all were doing that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Did y'all get a rate on the tickets or how?
Oh, yeah. It was great. $25 to get on the bus and drive over, and the ticket.
And the ticket.
And the ticket. $25.
That's a great price.
No.
So how y'all do? You just call the athletic department?
Yeah,
and say,
we
look,
called them ahead of time for a group sale, and then.
Wow. I didn't know you could do that.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I told Jeremy I'd like to go to a softball game.
Yeah.
Get the bus and go over for a softball.
Do they have football? You get a group sale for Florida State football game?
Won't be for $25.
$25. I'll go with y'all.
That Delaware game.
When y'all went over there, that bus, do y'all stop and let them eat, or do y'all just go straight there?
He just took us straight there and straight
Eat
back.
at the game.
Ate at the game.
Okay, so you eat the game, everything.
Yeah, hour 50 from here to Tallahassee. I mean, he just ran us right on
That's
through.
true.
So, yeah.
Man, that's a great deal. When I saw that, we were talking yesterday. We told her y'all had done that, but I wasn't sure if it was through the Florida Booster did it or did it was
the church did it.
Church did it.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
It's funny. I saw Beth walk in. She had on a Florida shirt. I said, "What in the world were you wearing that shirt over there?" I forgot they played Florida. There was quite a few Florida people on there.
Y'all put your headsets on. We got a caller. Good morning.
Good morning, coaches. How are y'all?
Good morning. Is this Mike?
This is Dr. Coach Mike Miguel.
What's up, Big Daddy?
Not much. I want to share a scripture with you. I was studying yesterday. I thought it had been written about you, but it turned out it was about the big guy upstairs. And then the second half is what told me it wasn't about you. I'm going to share Psalm 1. Be quiet now. I'm serious. I'm going to share Psalm 145 and 15 with you. The eyes of all look expectantly to you, and you give them their food in due season. Now, we all look to you for leadership, coaches, especially Coach Hale, who's the star. But that part about giving us food, we know you're a net receiver in that department. Anyway.
Thank you, Mike.
I have one thing to say. I didn't say anything about I'm bandwagon jumping Alabama's basketball team, even though I'm a ball fan. Maybe they'll meet in the finals. Unfortunately, I got Tennessee going out in the next round, I think. Is that a true fan if you don't ride your team all the way to the finals and the double-A?
Yeah, you're right.
I didn't ride them or Auburn. In fact, I had Auburn checking out earlier than they did. But Alabama's got a tough game coming up. San Diego State can be. They play high energy. They hustle. And of course, when you're as good as Alabama, it takes ifs to beat you. If Alabama doesn't shoot well, then they get beaten to the offensive rebounds off the long threes.
Yeah.
They could have trouble.
Yeah.
But really, they're still the best team in the tournament, and the balls are the meanest. I mean, if they actually use the Marcus at Queensberry rules, not just the rules of basketball, they may be down to 4 players at the end. I mean, they play like Kentucky did about 30 years ago, and the Big Ten always did. It's wrestling. But y'all have a great day. It's good to be alive and in Florida. I don't even know if Chipola got put out of the national tournament or not. I can't get information. But
Tommy will tell you in a minute. Tommy will tell you in a minute.
Well, hey, Mariana's hanging in there with the Bay County teams pretty well.
They are. They got a good little ball club, no doubt.
They do. They've got a good baseball tradition over there, you know, and but it looks like Gulf Coast may be a little better than Coach Johnson's team this year in baseball, but we'll see. It all pan out in the end.
Mike, love you, brother. We got to take a break, man.
All right, it's good to hear Michigan Eddie yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I think you it's intimidated him so much. I think maybe now he's got a little confidence coming back and start calling again.
Oh, he's just been conquering the world. He can talk to you about pitch counts and that travel ball. Here's what's funny about Eddie is he got his little Eddie's a good player. If when girls and women's flag football takes off like it has in Georgia and even in Alabama, he may have him a future Hersman Trophy winner in there on the girls' side.
Yeah.
Bye now.
Bye, Mike. Thank you, buddy. Chipola lost second round. Thank you so much for texting and letting us know that. I really appreciate that. I think it was Steve. We got to go. We got a break. Okay, let's talk. Hey, yesterday had a wonderful time. Saw Jay Michael, talked to him. Spaghetti, again, packed out at lunch, and it was also packed out at dinner. Spaghetti, they only do it on Wednesday nights. But you want the best seafood, coldest beer, Jay Michael's Restaurant. I tell you what, I was listening to people from Indiana sitting there eating and everything. And a lot of Mississippi State Bulldog fans there. I saw the shirts, talked to them. Really great people, really nice. And Jay Michael's a legendary. They know this. People come down every year. They want to go to Jay Michael's Restaurant. If you haven't been, try it. I think you'll absolutely love it. Great man. Tommy, you used to go to his first restaurant he had, didn't you? Over in town?
Oh, yeah.
Well, where was it at? I can't even remember.
The what now?
Jay Michael's first restaurant.
Oh, yeah. It's right there on 98, and it's right there by the old school board office where we used to be by the college. Okay. And we'd go there for lunch.
Yeah, that's right.
And Jay Michael sponsored our Exchange Club, and he was a member of the Exchange Club, and we used to eat at his restaurant.
Yeah, I tell you.
Meetings.
I love that man. Great guy. Get out Jay Michael's Restaurant and have a wonderful time. Stevenson Air Conditioning. Man, the weather is finally starting to warm up. You know, we're going to have another cold front come through here, I think, next Tuesday. Oh. So it's going to get cold again. But we don't worry about that. We got Stevenson Air Conditioning. Matter of fact, you can stay warm, you can stay cold, whatever you want to do if you got Stevenson Air Conditioning. If it breaks down, call them. They'll be out there quickly to solve all issues. What's so great about Stevenson Air Conditioning? Locally owned, local people. It's not a national, it's a local company that's taking care of locals here in Northwest Florida. Wonderful people, love them to death. Chuck Tucker, his daddy was nothing but a winner, man.
Yep.
Mosley, one of the best principals Mosley's ever had. He raised some great kids, and Chuck Tucker is one of the greatest. I tell you, he does an incredible job at South Oak Title and Closing. All the big-time realtors demands, they want to use him. It's your job. It's your deal. You demand South Oak Title and Closing. There's an office near you. We'll be right back. It's Thursday. We've got Tommy Santamont, Jeremy Pridgeon, and we're going to call Mosley Athletic Director Doug Lee. Be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida, the sports talk monster on the Gulf Coast. Let's go! Destin, Panama City, and Mexico Beach. Listen on 104.3. In the Mariana, Chipley, and Bonifay area, hear us on 102.1.
Swing line drive, left center field, and ball is down!
And now, Fort St. Joe, Apalachicola, and Weewa. It's 101.9. We have Northwest Florida covered. It's ESPN Northwest Florida.
Thursday weather forecast becoming partly to mostly sunny today. High temperatures in the mid-70s. A southeast wind about 10. The water temperature in the Gulf is 70. Mostly clear, cool tonight around 62. And light winds overnight. Friday mostly sunny in the mid to upper 70s. Showers Friday night. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. For ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Chuck was terrible at fishing. He spent many frustrating hours attempting to get results he saw from internet videos, aggravating trial and error fishing trips, and misguided advice from well-intended friends. Chuck is happy now with his newfound success after he visited Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, where we keep fishing fun, simple, and successful. See us soon at Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, located directly off Highway 98 on the west end of Panama City Beach.
Mid-South Lumber, where they treat you like family. Locally owned and serving the residents of Bay County for over 45 years. Visit their feed store at the Youngstown location for all of your livestock feed, plumbing, electrical, lawn, and garden needs. They also carry local Chautauqua wines, baby chicks, and a full line of poultry supplies to get your chicks started off right. Mid-South Lumber, the biggest little lumber yard in Panama City.
He's a 10-foot-tall, barrel-chested beast man who showers in vodka and feeds his baby shrimp scampi.
Kind of a big deal.
Please welcome.
Ain't gonna hurt.
Live and local from the J. Michaels studio, the Coach James Hale Show, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest. I'm sorry, John. I wasn't paying attention. Forgive me for that. It's Thursday. It's Mosley Day, and the king of Mosley, when I think one of the greatest coaches we've ever had in Bay County, any sport, Doug Lee. Doug, how you doing this morning?
Hey, Coach. Having a little bit of difficulty hearing you. You're breaking up a little bit, but I'll do my best.
Okay. What now? Wait a minute. Okay, we can hear you great here. Can you hear us now?
No, we can't.
Doug, we're going to hang up and call you back and see if that'll work.
Okay.
Let's call him back. Yeah. You might want to ask him if we can call him on a line at Mosley High School. Maybe that'd be better. I'm not sure. Anyway, we're going to get over at the athletic director, Mosley High School, Doug Lee, give us a little insight what's going on over there with the baseball program, who's going to take over until Coach gets it rolling, gets back off this ridiculous suspension they put him on. You know, he came from Georgia, too, coached there his entire career. I think, like you said, Jeremy, each state has a different set of rules. I don't know, I can see him, 1 week or something like that, but 13 games.
Yeah, and they self-reported. Normally, when you self-report,
right,
you don't get stuck with a big penalty.
And they also fined him $1,000 that he has to pay out of his own pocket.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that's pocket change for you, but for me, that's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money.
Yeah,
$1,000.
That's the reason I told you a long time ago you need to either run for superintendent or be in charge of Florida High School Athletic Association. He wouldn't do it.
Yeah. I'm not that stupid now.
Yeah. Glenn is still being the AD, and what's Glenn now, 93, 94? Anyway, all right, we're trying to get Doug on the phone with us. We're gonna get it worked out. Jeremy, y'all.
If we get Doug on the line, though, I am curious because, as we mentioned that first segment, those games were played out of state. What carries, what applies at that point? You playing by Alabama's rules while you're on the road? Florida rules carry. I mean, it gets, and even Georgia has a different set of rules, and they play games in Georgia this year already.
See, that was the first thing I said yesterday. They play in a entirely different state. You go by the state rules you're playing in, I would think.
No, not with FHSA. You go by they're protecting the players here in Florida. No matter where you go and play, you're going to have to go by what Florida says. And I don't know whether they knew that or not. Maybe they didn't. It just sounds very reasonable that they didn't know and they were using a different pitch count. But maybe, Doug will be able to probably tell us a little bit more about that.
I said yesterday Johnny Cochran was alive. He wouldn't be paying that fine, baby. He would not be paying that fine. Johnny Cochran. Glove doesn't fit, you must have quit.
All right, looks
you play in a different state, you must have quit. We got him. All right, Coach, can you hear me?
Hey, Coach, that's a lot better. I appreciate it. Sorry about that.
Man, I appreciate you so much. I know you're busy. I appreciate you coming on. Everybody's curious about what all's going on. Jeremy, you asked me a question about different states. That's the first thing I thought about.
Yeah, Doug, we figured you'd be our expert on this. Hope you're doing well this morning. Good to talk with you. We're wondering, these games, Mosley's played out of state in Georgia and Alabama, and, pitch counts vary and these different state associations. Does Florida's rules carry even when Mosley's playing up at LaGrange or they're playing up at Auburn, how does all that work out from kind of the officiating, umpiring standpoint?
Yeah, it does. It does. When we're a Florida member in the FHSA, so I mean, wherever we play, regardless of crossing state lines, we are governed by those state rules. So yes, sir, we definitely playing by Florida, and that was a question initially we kind of had, obviously, to see if it would benefit us, but no, we are definitely governed by Florida.
Okay.
Well, tell us what's the latest. I know you appealed it. I thought that was crazy when I heard they suspended him for a whole year, and then fined him $500. Now, I guess they have now come back for 13.
Coach, I apologize. I still having a hard time. I think you asked what was the latest update. Is that correct?
Right. Yes, sir.
Are you there, Coach?
Yeah, go ahead, Doug.
Yeah.
Yeah. John, call him back. Is he still on his cell phone?
Hello?
Hey, Doug. Doug, we were just asking what the latest update was, if you can give us that.
He can't hear us.
He can't, no.
Yeah. Call him back and see if he can get it on a school line. I think it's his cell phone.
Yeah, probably so.
Well, we got the answer on the question. If you play in Florida, wherever you go, still those rules apply. So
yeah.
That's something to take into account.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of...
That's the way they play in FHSA.
Has that always been that way, Tommy?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that's something a lot of folks in the southern part of the state don't have to worry about. But you play teams from Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana here pretty quickly.
Yeah. And you do football, baseball. Anyway, I'm sorry. We apologize. We're trying to get Doug back on a live line at the school instead of a cell phone. I think he'd be able to hear us a little bit better, and we're trying, so be patient. I know everybody wants to kind of
and this creates a disruption for the program. You've been spending your whole time in the preseason. You get into your season, you got a new coach, and now the players have to adjust. It's an unnecessary distraction, and they'll have to kind of weather that and fight through it. I know they will. I mean, you had a great program over at Mosley, and a lot of support, but it's really, I think, one of those things that's going to be off the field that they just have to work through and get back to playing. It's just baseball.
And I don't know whether, when they say he's suspended, I don't know whether he can practice with the team.
So that's what I was going to ask you.
He just can't play and can't be there for a game. And coach doing the game, but I think he can probably practice with them.
That's what I was going to ask you. If he can practice with them, then that's not that bad at all.
Yeah.
And then, if a lot of this stuff, when you say self-reported, a lot of these other coaches, they're the first ones to jump on the boat and say, hey, they're violating over here, and sometimes that's what it takes. But if Mosley and they said they self-reported, that should have meant something to FHSA to lessen the amount of penalty they did serve Coach Howard.
That's funny you say that. One of our callers yesterday, first thing he said, it sounds like somebody's going after him. Somebody's,
It could be. It could be. You don't know. It could be somebody up here in Georgia.
Yeah. You never know.
The way he drilled those teams up there, they might have been mad at him. Here he goes again.
But Tommy, what is the worst? I never heard of anybody being suspended for a year.
Well, in baseball, in football, you'd have to do something really bad. I mean, you'd have to be, paying players to come to you, and like you used to do a long time ago. I'm just kidding.
Well, I paid off the Florida High School Athletic Association too, so I was okay.
Yeah, me and you went and see Dr. Stewart. Remember? Yeah.
We knew what was going on before these people up here did.
He run us out of the office after about 5 minutes.
Well, and Tommy, to your piece, I mean, we've seen schools put on probation, eliminated from state competition, but those were real, like, institutional control matters.
Right.
I mean, we're talking about administering a game and a pitch count.
Yeah. I'll be down there in May, and I'll see Commissioner. I'll ask him about
I'll ask him a question.
I'll ask him what the...
Because I could see somebody being suspended 2 weeks. I thought that was the worst case. You get about 2 weeks for something, so I guess not.
And I don't know where the baseball committee that meets and comes up with these rules, I don't know where the to them, this is a really, and I mean, I can see where it'd be a serious thing because you don't want to hurt somebody's arm where they're running for the rest of their career. So we'll I don't know what they've come up with. They might say, all
right, we're still working on. We're going to take a break real quick, and hopefully we'll get Doug back. We're doing the best we can. Also, don't forget on Monday, we've got Dr. Chad Mitchell. Tommy, you've known Chad forever.
Oh yeah,
this will be his 24th year on Bay County Science coming up. He is a legend.
I remember his first year when he first came down.
Yeah, he truly is a legend here in Bay County. Been taking care of athletes all these years, and you don't have to be an elite athlete to get taken care of by Dr. Chad Mitchell. You get any type of injury, go see Chad. The guy is incredible. I think everybody in my family's been to him. He does a great job. There's no doubt about it. You listen to him Monday morning. His wife is a War Eagle.
Yeah.
And he is a Crimson Tider.
Yeah.
Split family. Unbelievable. Yeah. Bay Point Golf. You love golf. The only place to go is Bay Point. You want to make a lot of money. Schedule yourself a golf tournament at Bay Point. Ryan will coach you up. You'll make as much money as you possibly want to make. They do a great job at Bay Point, and we do want our bingo back, Ryan. Hopefully we'll have him here tomorrow. I think we're going to have him here. Well, I'll drill him some questions and try to get some insight what's going on with these games against you, especially when you compete against him. And I'll try to help you guys out as much as I can.
There you go.
Well, it depends on what he offers. Anyway. Rudy's Barbecue on Bat Beach Road. Ethan Boyd does a great job down there. You want the best barbecue, but Tommy, the turkey plate, the turkey sandwich is unbelievable. I'm telling you, all holidays is what you want to do. Get it catered through them. They do a great job. Or call your order in, go by and pick it up like Tommy's done several times. It's incredible. You can order ham, you can order turkey, anything you want down there at Rudy's Barbecue. All right, we'll be right back. You listen to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We're trying our best to get Doug Lee on. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida, your home for Mike Greenberg.
He's an incredibly young man. He's 23 years old. He's gifted beyond almost anyone's wildest imagination. Not just with incredible talent, but a magnificent charisma. There's something just endlessly watchable about John Morant. He is one of the people who I could see becoming the face of the league. But the things he says are not as important. There's the things he does from here going forward.
Greeny. Weekdays 2 to 4 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hi, I'm Tracy, your diamond girl at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Shopping for the perfect diamond can be difficult, but that's why I've trained my staff to be helpful and to offer you a stress-free diamond experience. Pick your sparkle and use our easy layaway plan. Every woman deserves an exquisite diamond from your diamond girl at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. We don't work on commissions.
We work for smiles and I-dos.
So if you're tired of high-pressure salespeople, stop by and see us today at Tracy's Fine Jewelry.
Reliable Copy Products is proud to be the exclusive dealer in Northwest Florida for Kyocera office equipment. Reliable Copy Products has been committed to providing professional, personalized service for the last 35 years. They understand that the right equipment does not always fall within today's budget requirements, so they offer several options for the equipment you need today for the growth you expect tomorrow. Call James Smothers at 784-6601. 784-6601. Reliable Copy Products on Harrison Avenue, just north of Bay High School.
If you spend any time at all in your yard, you're going to encounter fire ants.
We know they can ruin a party. That's why we're this area's experts at fire ant elimination.
As your certified top choice professional, we will rid your yard of these unwanted invaders. Brock Pest is so sure they will get rid of fire ants that they offer a 1-year guarantee.
Enjoy your yard fire ant free. We guarantee it. Give us a call for your free consultation.
Brock Lawn and Pest Control, our family protecting yours since 1968.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local from the J. Michael Studio.
They got something that money couldn't buy. I was noticing when you come down the stairs that you've got pretty legs.
All right, I'll tell you a story without a happy ending.
Y'all following this?
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This fog gets out of here. Be careful driving this morning and have yourself a wonderful Thursday. We're still working on Doug, trying to get him on. Jeremy, we got basketball. Sweet 16 gets cranked up tonight. Give us a little rundown of what's going on tonight.
All right. So I hope your bracket held up over the weekend.
I haven't missed one yet. I haven't turned my bracket in yet.
Right. And filling it in after the fact always works.
It kind of helps.
I'm waiting for Final Four to do mine.
Yeah, that's all it is.
You were the only person that had Farley Dickinson.
Yeah, right.
Oh, no. This evening, the Sweet 16 kicks off, and we got a great slate of ball games. Obviously, there were some shockers, over the weekend. Did we get Doug?
I think we're going to try one more time. All right.
Let's see.
Doug, you there?
Yes, sir. I apologize. Sorry about that.
That's okay. We just fined you, though. You got a 12-month suspension.
I hear you. Yeah, I hear you.
All right. Tell us, what's the real deal? What's going on over at Mosley? Who's going to be the best? Can he coach? Can Coach run practice? Can he be at the games? Give us everything that's going on over there.
Yeah, Coach Howard. Yeah, he can run practices still. He just cannot be at on game day. He's got to leave the site when game day starts, and so we've talked through that, and he's abiding by that, and of course we want to do the right thing. So. We are grateful that the FHSA did take another look at it and did reduce it, so we are grateful for that. There's still a part, when you look at other states around here, 13 games is still a significant penalty, but we do play in the state of Florida, and we respect the rules of the state of Florida, and so we definitely don't want to be. We're grateful in this situation that it was reduced.
Doug, Tommy Santamont, how you doing?
Hey, Mr. Santamont, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Good to talk to you, Doug.
You too. I appreciate it. We might need to get you out of retirement.
Yeah, right. That's what I need. I don't think so, Doug.
I don't blame you.
Hey, Doug, on the penalty, was that directly through the commissioner and his staff? Is that who did assess the penalty for Dr.
Yes,
Petrone?
the executive director there at the FHSA and his staff levied the first penalty yesterday.
Did they give you any indication of why they did that amount, or they just got the note?
No, no, sir. Other than I think there had been two previous situations in the state of Florida,
okay, they had something to go by,
right,
Well, now
this is the first year of this rule change, and again. Just my experience of being an NCAA umpire, the NCAA even makes rule changes every 2 years now. They used to do it every year, but now it's every 2 years. And, sometimes it's like this 20-pitch clock that we're dealing with in college baseball as an umpire. You go into it and you make a rule change, and then you get in the middle of it, and there's a lot of other questions you hadn't really thought through. And so I think that could be being played out in our state right now with the pitch count. And I'm hoping after all this is said and done, we get a little bit more experience in this situation, that maybe we will relook at this and kind of modify what we have in place right now in the state of Florida.
Hey, Doug, the baseball committee, every sport has a committee that meets. Did the baseball committee, did they come up with a pitch count? They went through?
They definitely, what I've been told by the FHSA through this situation is that the baseball committee was heavily involved. They wanted to get away from forfeitures of games, which a lot of states do have forfeitures of games still in place, and they want to get away from that. And so as a result of taking that away and not really hurting the team as a whole, they put it really more on the head coach. And again, I understand that to some degree, but again, with the level of the first violation with the school self-reporting, I think every situation is different.
Right. Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, we had a caller yesterday, Doug, and they were like, it just seems like somebody's going after Coach. Somebody reported him, but nobody reported him. No other coach reported him. It was Mosley self-reporting, correct?
Right. Yes, sir. That nobody else has anything to do with this. This is only on us. We took ownership of it, and we've tried to do our due diligence to do the right thing.
Hey, I want a lot of people might not know this. You do officiate. You're an ump in big leagues, college baseball. Yeah. Do you ever think, because Doug, we were talking about this earlier, Jeremy and I were talking about this, do you ever think they'll go from 9 innings to 7 innings in college baseball to speed the game up? Do you think that will ever happen?
I don't know if they'll go to 9 to 7 as a regular game per se. I do know, like the SEC, they have really made it mandatory, like on doubleheaders, that you're going to play. They have 10-run rule after 7 innings mandated. It used to be kind of an option, and it still is an option. Like I work in the Sun Belt Conference in the Atlantic Sun. We ask them, hey, do you want to play the 10-run rule or not? And I'll be honest with you, 95% of the time, most coaches do not want to play the 10-run rule. But I do think we're going to get to that point to kind of shorten games. But I do think, in my experience this season, the pitch clock is helping expedite games and make them quicker. And I've heard from some guys or minor league guys that I know that in spring training the average time has been like around 2:30, 2:33, I think, something like that. So I do think it's helping. But I do think there's still, as there's always kinks that need to be worked out with it.
Well, Doug, you make a great point about the kind of unintended consequences, whether it's the pitch count and what you're dealing with there at Mosley, or the pitch clock and what we're looking at with NCAA and even MLB with speeding up ball games. Tommy and I were over at Dick Hauser for Florida State, and there were 8 pitching changes that were made. And I get that coaches in the midweek are wanting to get kids, reps and some appearances. But I'm also sitting here going, maybe that would have been a good thing to limit it. So, one pitching change, and then once you're in, you're in.
So, I understand. I do. I think there's arguments on both sides of the fence with the pitch clock, and I've heard different things from different folks, and so I will say this, from an umpiring crew standpoint, it puts a lot more on you. I mean, you're trying to get balls and strikes and out and safes right, and fair and fouls, and those really are the most important. They can really determine a baseball game. But now you got to start looking at clocks and things of that nature. It does put a lot more responsibility on you, and but that's what we've been given, and that's the things that we're supposed to enforce. So we're doing our due diligence to try to do the best we can on that.
Doug, I want to ask you, can we call Coach next week? Is that who we're going to be talking to about Mosley baseball?
I think so. I'll touch base with him. He may have Coach Aldridge. Coach Aldridge is kind of running the team when he's not available to be there. And Matt's an outstanding baseball coach. I'm grateful we've got him. He's done a great job since taking over and filling in when Coach is not there. And so, and not only him, we're very fortunate. We got Coach Jason Rudd and Taylor Stanford. We're fortunate we've got 4 quality, good baseball coaches. And so, and Coach Howard's done a great job in forming the staff and organizing it. So, we're very fortunate. We do have 3 good ones that are still around and can fill in those gaps.
Hey, Doug, on the pitch count in Florida for high school, do you? I don't know exactly what it is, but do you think it's a good count that they have established for the rules?
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of, again, I'm not the expert as far as, there's a lot of, Andrews Institute and doctors here, Southern Orthopedic, they may could answer that question better than I could, doctors per se. But, I think it's a fair one, and usually typically what most coaches have been around is around the 100 pitch mark.
Okay. The last thing, Doug, on the game day, Coach Howard cannot have any contact with Coach Aldridge at all during the game? Is that what they FHSA said?
During the game, he is totally to not be at the site or communicate.
No telephone conversations, anything like that?
Right. Yeah, right.
Okay.
Tommy's trying to set something up over there. I don't know what he's doing.
It's funny you say that, because I was in a college game that I was on, and the head coach of a college team was suspended when we got there. We found out. So, you're always told by the conference office, hey, you need to be aware of this. If you see it, please report it. So, I feel very confident. I'm going to be honest with you. Coach Howard has handled this as the best he could have handled. I'm being honest with you. He's got an impeccable resume.
Right.
He's a great man, and I really believe, and I don't want to speak for him, but I really think he's taking it pretty hard. I'll be honest with you. And
Sounds like it to me, too.
There's not a day that he has not called me and apologized, and it's bothering him. It's bothering him as a person.
Yeah. Well,
you actually have a ball game today. I mean, is this the first game on the field or second? As far as the suspension, I think North Florida's coming into town, if that's correct.
This is the fifth game.
Okay.
North Florida Christian comes to town today, and again, they're a very good ball club, and again, we'll have a good test here at Mosley. We're excited about playing home. I know they are.
Yeah, you've had a lot of road games this year. So, what time is that ball game?
It's at 4:30, first pitch today.
All right. What about tickets and all that? I know every school's kind of handling their admission and things different these days. Anything changed with Mosley?
No, we're still cashless. GoFan is the best way to get them. And again, we'd love to have a good crowd today. Obviously, our kids have really worked hard. This fall has been tremendous to watch them and the time they put in, our coaches and our players. And I really believe this is an exciting ball club, and so I'm looking forward to where they are watching the rest of their season.
Doug, thank you so much for coming on. I know how busy you are. Appreciate it. And we'll call Coach Howard next week. And if anything changes, if you'd call, let me know, or give me a number to call somebody else. I'd appreciate it.
Okay. Hey, I appreciate y'all. Thanks for all you do.
Take care, Seth. Bye. Doug Lee, Athletic Director, Mosley High School. All right, let's talk about some Turf Pro Pest Control. Do you want that field to look absolutely beautiful, your yard look absolutely beautiful? All you got to do, Turf Pro Pest Control. They'll take care of all your needs. They are incredible. Patrick does a great job. They got a great team at Turf Pro Pest Control. Blue Sky Express Car Wash on Bat Beach Road. That's pretty good, wasn't it? I'm getting better. I should. Blue Sky Express Car Wash on Bat Beach Road. You go one time, you'll go every time. I'm telling you that right now. They do a wonderful job. You know why? They bought everything top notch. The best you can buy, they got. The best wax, the best machines. It's incredible. That car comes out of there, that truck comes out of there, it looks like it's brand new. Tommy had his wash there before he traded in. They gave him more money, as far as you know.
That's right.
Blue Sky's regular car wash. Go try it. You'll love it. Also, don't forget about Dr. Ward. We didn't have him Wednesdays taking care of some other business, but I tell you what, he does a wonderful job. He has worked on us several times. Everybody in the family, we've been to him. Skin cancer can be deadly. 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. Take care of yourself. If you're out in that sun, put the suntan lotion on, cover your body up. Be careful. Seriously. 5 minutes can save your life. If you listen right now throughout northwestern Florida, Dr. Ward has an office near you. Make sure you get checked out. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Do you want to look better? Do you want to feel better? Go see Jason Kovaleski. We'll have Jason here tomorrow. All right, we'll be right back. Tommy's with us. Jeremy's with us. We get back. Let's have Tommy talk about FSU. Be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents the Sweet 16.
Swinging for three. It's Cash and a lead for Arkansas.
Live play-by-play and whip-around coverage starts today at 5 with UConn versus Arkansas and Tennessee versus Florida Atlantic. Then UCLA versus Gonzaga and Kansas State, Michigan State on your home for March Madness.
Right hand foul! Perfectly timed right block!
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Thursday weather forecast becoming partly to mostly sunny today. High temperatures in the mid-70s. A southeast wind about 10. The water temperature in the Gulf is 70. Mostly clear, cool tonight around 62. And light winds overnight. Friday mostly sunny in the mid to upper 70s. Showers Friday night. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. For ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Let your
Your spring adventures begin today at Bill Bird Kia. The SUV family is built for all adventures, and the possibilities are endless. Now offering 3.25% APR for up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2023 Kia Sorento. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. Bill Bird Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us today, 2435 East 15th Street, or anytime online at BillBirdKia.com. We're going to treat you like family and give you that peace of mind that you can trust.
Offer from Kia Finance for the purchase of a new 2023 Kia Sorento with $22.22 per month per $1,000 financed at 48 months. Quantities limited. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 4/3/23.
I'd like to introduce.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show.
Milk was a bad choice.
If I could just have your attention.
60% of the time, it works. Every time.
If anyone wants to switch jobs, let me know.
Live from the J. Michael Studio.
I have many leather-bound books.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Florida State. Woo! And Tommy and Jerry was at Florida State having a good time. Yesterday, the score was not what you wanted. Florida's got a good baseball team now.
Number three in the nation now.
Really good. Mm-hmm. Tommy, what do you got to do? Oh, wait, we got to brag on John and Charlotte. John's back is messed up. He's going to have to.
I know that feeling.
Yeah, I do too. And bless his heart, he's going to have to get it straightened out. But he's still looking good shape. But he did mess his back up. Charlotte, bless her heart, love her to death, sweetheart. They do such a great thing and so many great things in the community. Get out to Newbies, have a wonderful time. They're really doing really well spring break. The people, this is a legendary place. Everybody in the Southeast knows about Newbies. Newbies still on the curve. Go watch. Hey, it starts tonight. We got the Sweet 16. Go watch it there. Get out to the mothership. Listen to the best bands. Have some food there. They got 3 great locations. They do a wonderful job. Great employees. Get out to Newbies. Have a great time. Tell them Coach sent you. All right, Tommy, what do you got for us today on
Well,
FSU?
we're going to start with baseball. Since we were over there Tuesday night, Jeremy and our First United Methodist Church, we took a bus over there, and it was a great trip. I had a lot of fun. We had about 54 people on the bus, and the good thing about it, they drove right up to the gate. We got out, went to the game. The buses were right there for us. We got in there and headed back to Panama City. So it worked out really good for us.
Time out. So they knew y'all were coming. Did they have that place marked off for y'all?
Oh, yeah. He knew. The bus driver knew exactly where to go.
That's cool, man.
Well, when we left now, I will tell you, there was 2 buses in front. I guess the
Florida team buses
were. The Florida team buses right and we were in front of them because we were going to be getting out before they were.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, we were out there with the Florida bus.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so we got.
Y'all got a good pastor over there. Whoever runs that church really knows what he's doing.
We were trying to make sure that all of ours got on the right bus, because if we said get on that one, next stop's Gainesville.
I know. Somebody asked me when I was going, which bus we get on? I said it's pretty obvious we're going to be on that bus. We're not going to be on that champion bus right there. But anyway, it was a great game. We enjoyed it, and FSU came out as a 9-5 loser. And if they would have shortened the game up to about the 5th inning, I think FSU would have had a good chance to win that game. They were up 5-1 at one time, and Florida just kept in there one run. About 3 or 4 innings, they got 1 run each. And then on the 8th inning, they blew it open with 5 runs. And the problem is FSU has no bullpen. That's their biggest weakness. And, of course, they struck out 10 times, too, in that game. So they didn't hit the ball real well. But Link Jarrett's going to get them going, I'm sure. I know he's in the process of, just like Norvell was, of trying to get his players in there and go from there. But the things don't get any better for FSU because March the 24th, 25th, and 26th, they got to travel up to Virginia, who's number 8th in the nation in baseball, and play him a 3-game series. And then they come back on March the 28th. They got Florida again in Jacksonville.
Quick?
Yeah,
that's a quick turnaround.
They got a 3-game series, and it ends on the 26th. And then the 28th, 2 days later, they're going to play Florida in Jacksonville. And that will be, of course, Florida's number 3 now. And then after that, they got a 3-game series with Miami at Miami, and they're number 17 in the nation. So their schedule is not. And then they got a little bit down the line. They got Clemson coming in. So they've got a pretty rough schedule there ahead of them. And like Jeremy's saying, they went through 8 pitchers, and I'm assuming they were probably getting ready for that Virginia, letting some of them throw, but. The first pitcher they started out with, I forgot, was it Whitaker? I forgot who it was.
Yeah,
but he did a good job.
Came out throwing 3 innings of smoke.
Yeah. I mean, he was throwing strikes about every time.
How many innings did he pitch?
There were 3 and got pulled. He was 3 scoreless. And, Tommy called it. I mean, FSU jumped them quickly, and then one of the people with us said, I kind of see a pattern on that board. In the 4th inning, 1 run, 5th inning, 1 run, 6th inning, 1 run, 7, and then busted it open.
Busted it open.
Yeah.
But the only one had one Florida kid that hit it on top of the fence in right center, but they didn't no home runs during the game.
Yeah, beautiful night for a ballpark game.
Were there many Gator fans there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
When we were sitting there, a lot of those people in our part of the stands were Gator fans, and I didn't know. I know when Terry said we're going to be on I knew we'd be with paying $25 for the bus ticket, and I knew he was going to be kind of out on the side, but we could see we didn't have no problem at all. Yep. It's really a compact stadium. Yeah, and you can see good.
Now, is it true that you didn't let any Florida fans on the bus?
Yeah. we had quite a few of them on the bus. And I told Jeremy, I didn't realize when I came in the church there, and there was a girl in our church that I know, and she came up, she had a Florida. I said, what in the world you wearing that Florida shirt on this bus? I don't even know if we're going to let you on it. And I forgot we were playing Florida. So it all worked out. Everybody's good friends, so it was fun. I mean, inevitably, I knew that FSU wasn't going to have I didn't think they could beat them. But
Florida, number 3 program in the nation, coming out of their weekend series with Alabama. They've had a great start to the year, but it was everything that you'd expect with Florida State. Now, they play this series a little different. Used to, they would play 1 year in Gainesville, 1 year in Tallahassee, 3-game set, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But they now do 1 in Tallahassee, 1 in Gainesville, and then they play in Jacksonville at the Jumbo Shrimp Stadium, with both schools having strong alumni bases.
That's what I asked you. That's what it is. Yeah. They got so many alumni over there. They want I'm sure they pay them both to come over there.
Yeah, buy them out for the midweek game. Yeah. And, over Mississippi last week, Mississippi State was in town playing 2 games there at the Biloxi Shuckers Stadium. So you see these colleges, kind of taking it on the road. Alabama came down and played at South Alabama, so that all the Mobile alums can see them in town. And you've got that opportunity in baseball and basketball maybe to, venture out.
I like that.
I think it's great.
I think it's good. I mean, that's good planning, I think.
Yeah.
Next thing, softball. FSU softball is number 7 in the nation. They're 24-6 right now, and they're 3-0 in the conference. And they've got a real important ACC game coming up, a 3-game series with Duke at Duke, and they play Friday, March the 24th, which is tomorrow at 6 o'clock, Saturday at 1 o'clock, and then Sunday at 12 o'clock noon. So that will be a very important ACC 3-game series for FSU. In football, when we came by the stadium the other day, FSU was out there. They did practice on Tuesday. The football team was out there on the practice field, and we went right by them, and there was a lot of people, a lot of players out there. But one of the things that, and I subscribe to War Chant, and that gives you little insights what's going on at FSU. And one of the things they were highlighting this week was the defensive tackles for FSU, and they're pretty much loaded in that area. That interior defensive line, and they've got and what they plan on doing, they've got they 6 of their top defensive tackles. They're planning on, if things go like they wanted to, they're going to let them play about 30 snaps per game, and then they're going to keep fresh people in there all the time.
Smart,
which is smart. They have developed the depth to do that now. So they got Josh Farmer. I didn't know Josh Farmer is from Port St. Joe. I didn't realize he's from Port St. Joe. He's 6'3", 311, and he's a pretty good defensive tackle. And of course, they got the Lovett kid is a all SEC, ACC. I mean, not ACC, all SEC. He's 6'4", 330. He'll be one of the ones. And the kid they got from Miami, Daryl Jackson from Quincy, he's 6'5", 326. He has really been doing well in the spring. So they're very high on him, and They got the Briggs kid, the Ray kid, the Fisk kid. They got, and plus all the freshmen they got in. So they really loaded in that defensive tackle position at FSU. And the defense took the show Tuesday during their practice. They had multiple pick sixes during the practice, and they kind of dominated offense. And I know what they're doing. They not letting Jordan get out there and quarterback too much. He's kind of on. Matter of fact, they had a pick six. One of the kids was running down, and Jordan runs out and tries to tackle him off of the sideline because they didn't want him to score. But anyway, they've been really trying to make sure that Jordan don't get hurt, because if he gets hurt, other than Rodemeyer, they're going to be in trouble. So they're trying to protect him. But they've got several really good. They got several good players that was in there. One really Tuesday, Armando Blunt. He's a defensive end. He's the number 1 defensive end in the nation, number 4 overall prospect by O-line 3, but he's a class of 2025. He was there watching practice, and his mama was really high on FSU, and she's a big part of his decision making that he's going to do. And she said, as a mother, I heard exactly what I needed to hear from FSU.
He's doing a good job recruiting, no doubt about that. They're getting good transfers coming in. I'm excited about next year. Cannot wait. Week 1, LSU, Florida State. Huge football game. All right, let's talk about some of our wonderful people. Thank you, Tommy. Our Bay Point golf, get out to Bay Point, love golf, so place to go. That is Bay Point. I do want to thank John Charlotte again for the FSU update. Get out to Newbies and support them. They got 3 great locations. Don't forget about Paparazzi Gourmet Deli. The best pizza, the best bakery. The bakery's incredible. The deli, unbelievable. 100-year recipes. Retired police officer. Big John's a retired police officer. Go support them. And I tell you what, the people do. That place is packed out. Wonderful staff down there. Paparazzi Gourmet Deli on Thomas Drive. Also, El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. If you love Mexican food, this is the newest and best in Bay County. Right across the street from the Navy base. They have happy hour 3 to 7. $5 pitchers. You buy 1 draft beer, next one's free. House wine, margaritas, the same thing. Daily lunch specials, the best Mexican food you'll get anywhere. Tell Dave that Coach sent you in there. We'll be right back. Tommy, Jeremy. Tommy did a great job at FSU. I'm waiting to hear about the Alabama Crimson Tide by Jeremy Pridgeon. Be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, 102.1 Mariana, and 101.9 Port St. Joe. Be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Dan Patrick Show. I'm surprised that nobody is interested in Lamar Jackson. And maybe it's just, I got to give up 2 first-round picks, and then I have to give you all that money. But Lamar has been injured. It's like Odell Beckham Jr. Nobody interested in OBJ. Cowboys went out, got Brandon Cooks. Okay, I guess that takes them out of the OBJ sweepstakes here.
It's the Dan Patrick Show. Weekday mornings from 9 till 11. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Thursday weather forecast becoming partly to mostly sunny today. High temperatures in the mid-70s. A southeast wind about 10. The water temperature in the Gulf is 70. Mostly clear, cool tonight around 62. And light winds overnight. Friday mostly sunny in the mid-to-upper 70s. Showers Friday night. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. For ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Mid-South Lumber, where they treat you like family. Locally owned and serving the residents of Bay County for over 45 years. See Mid-South Lumber for all of your DIY projects, including windows, doors, siding, lumber, and millwork. Are you building a new home? Bring your contractor in to Mid-South Lumber and meet with a member of their sales team to discuss your framing, siding, windows, and doors. Mid-South Lumber, the biggest little lumber yard in Panama City.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DN Mariana, WVLQ Port St. John, powered by Pepsi, ESPN Northwest Florida.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Put down your natural light. It's time for the Alabama Update. The Alabama Update, weekday mornings at 8. On the Coach James Hale Show in 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Roll Tide. Roll, baby. Let's roll. How many more games we got to win to win a national championship basketball? 4. 4-way, baby. 4-way. Hope we get it done. Alabama Updates brought to you by Stevenson Air Conditioning. We don't care if it's cold. We don't care if it's hot because we got Stevenson Air Conditioning. Love Jason. Locally owned company taking care of locals. Make sure you have any problem. Call Stevenson Air Conditioning. Let the local people take care of local people, okay? They family owned. They do an incredible job. You'll save money. I guarantee you'll save money every time you deal with Stevenson Air Conditioning. All right, Jeremy, what you got for us today on the Alabama Crimson Tide?
All right, Sweet 16. That's a good feeling. We haven't been able to say that very often in Alabama basketball circles, but 2 good wins for Alabama to open the tournament. I talked to a few folks who are up in Birmingham. They said that atmosphere was absolutely incredible. Yeah, it looked like the committee knew exactly what they were doing, sending Auburn and Alabama into Birmingham for the ball game. Of course, Auburn bowed out, but Alabama got the win against Texas A&M Corpus Christi, and then the win against Maryland looked dominant. Maryland came out and hit them pretty quick, but you saw quickly Maryland couldn't get an offensive rebound.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. They always talk about Alabama not physical. They looked physical that night.
They were very, very physical, and Maryland was coming down. They were getting one shot, and Alabama was getting the ball, and you kind of felt pretty good that, okay, they'll move in. Quinterly had a great ball game. Been some questions about Miller and his health. He didn't have a single point against A&M Corpus Christi in the opener, but didn't really need to. I mean, they were very much a better ball team than Texas A&M Corpus Christi, but played better against Maryland. Hopefully through the week he's been able to improve. Alabama's moving on in what they're calling the Cinderella bracket. San Diego State is the next opponent out of the Mountain West for Alabama. It's the first ever meeting that I can find. I looked both schools up, and they don't show a record of them ever having played one another on their kind of all-time history. But San Diego State's 29-6. They went 15-3 in the Mountain West Conference. Of course, Alabama now 31-5. That's an all-time record of wins for the program, and they'll play Friday night at 5:30 in the early game in Louisville. The other side of the bracket, you don't want to go too far, but the other side of the bracket, you were the only one that had Creighton playing Princeton. That was very insightful.
Told you. You got to listen to me.
So it lines up really, really well. Now, those teams have done the work to get there, so you can't really dismiss them, but there's no Virginia. There's no Baylor. The teams that you were sitting here looking at this bracket when it came out, and you're going, wow, that could be a pretty tough path there at the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. So remember Coach Krzyzewski, when he would lead Duke, he would tell them they'd get the bracket and how he kind of broke it down, and he would say, okay, men, we're going to the Greensboro Invitational. And he'd take those 4 teams, if they'd win that first weekend, okay, we're going to the Louisville Invitational, and put it in manageable bites to get them through the 3 weeks to get to the Final Four. Yeah. So we'll talk more about the rest of the field, but this is a huge weekend where Alabama really, if they take care of business, can finally punch through and get to that Final Four. I mean, we've been to the round of 8. number of times, come up short. Most notably, I think the year we had Antoine Petway and that crowd that ran into UConn, and that was a heck of a ball team. So it's been a long drought for Alabama basketball. It's kind of nice to still be talking basketball here in March when normally spring football is the dominant topic of conversation. Alabama baseball. 18-4, but stumbled out of the gate down in Gainesville. We dropped the first two in the series to Florida. Did pick up the third game to go 1-2 on the weekend down in Gainesville. Now that's not too shabby. I mean, Gainesville's a tough place to play. Florida's a great program, and so to pick up one in Gainesville, it's good. Love to have gotten two, but I think you've got to call that success. It will be very interesting to see what happens this weekend. Kentucky comes to Tuscaloosa. Kentucky swept to open, so they come in undefeated in conference play. First pitch Friday night will be at 6, and then games Saturday and Sunday at 2 o'clock. Interestingly, 5 SEC programs just ran the table over the weekend. South Carolina, Missouri, Vanderbilt, Arkansas, and Kentucky all open 3-0 to start. Florida, Alabama was one of the few series where there was a split. So Alabama baseball still trending well. The non-conference was so easy, it's hard to get a gauge, and this is really going to be a litmus test for how much improvement the program has made. You and I have talked about it over the years that Alabama baseball has not really lived up to the expectations of the investment that the university's made and athletic departments made in getting those facilities. And so jury's still out. Big series this weekend at home. It'd be nice to get the sweep over the Cats. Definitely need 2 out of 3. You get kind of discouraged if they come in and you find yourself on the short side again. So ladies softball. Coach Patrick Murphy threw out the first pitch at the baseball game the other night, honored for his 1,200 wins. But they had an unusual weekend at home at Rhodes Stadium. Arkansas came into town and took 2 of 3 from Alabama. Now, Arkansas's ranked program, very solid in their own right. In fact, SEC softball, it's kind of newer if you think about it. That's always been a West Coast type of sport, but now the SEC is dominant in the softball. Well, they came in and Alabama got game 1 2-0, but dropped the back end 5-3 and then lost the rubber game 2-1 in 10 innings. So they come out of the gate 1-2 to start conference play.
The game they won, did Montana Faust win the pitch?
Yeah, she's throwing, and she's great. I mean, she's tough. She is top drawer. They pick up a midweek win over UAB, 12-0 in 5 innings. The men played UAB as well, 12-2. So Alabama, Birmingham, and was kind of the midweek tune-up. But a huge series for the softball team. They go on the road to Tennessee, and that's going to be a tough place to play. We talk about Florida State, and whatever it is, there's a rivalry. Well, same thing in Alabama, Tennessee. Softball's been pretty good.
Tennessee is owned us this year. They beat us in basketball. They beat us in football.
Absolutely. Yeah, they have really done a great job there. As far as football goes, spring football is underway. You've got Pro Day itinerary today.
12 o'clock, you can watch it on SEC Network, I believe.
I think that's right. I think it's SEC Network.
Jamie was supposed to cover it. What's happened to her grandmother? They gave her off. She's still here with her grandmother. But we were going to go. She wanted me to go to that. Have you ever been to a Pro Day? Have you ever done that?
I have not done that one.
So you got to have the media pass again. It's pretty cool. And we were going to do that, and I said I can't because I've just been off. But I wanted to do that. We are going to Hoover for sure, right? You going to go this year?
I'm going to try to go.
Ethan Boyd's going to go. Tommy, you need to go watch some good baseball up there at Hoover. I'm sorry. Go back.
No. I think talking about the Pro Day, it's from noon to 2 o'clock. 15 alums and 2 former players be competing. The former players are Slade Bolden and DJ Fluker.
Fluker?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
So
he's getting up there in age when it comes to football.
He is. He really is. So that's a name we not talked about several years. But the alums, Bryce Young, Will Anderson Jr., Ike Orr, and Brian Branch, Jordan Battle, DeMarco Helms, Eli Ricks, Cameron Letu kind of highlight. Jamar Gibbs, I think, will do really well.
Mm-hmm.
He is a pro-type running back if there ever was one.
Is Bryce going to throw?
That's the question. I've not been able to see anything specifically on him. They're doing height, weight measurements, verticals, 40s, and then they're doing position drills on TV.
When you say their height and weight, he was 6'2" at Alabama. He went to pro day. He was 5'10". 5'10". So I want to see who's measuring, man. Did Tommy do the measuring up there?
Got to intimidate him however you can, I came up a little short there. So, but that speaks to the program itself when you can have that kind of day at your school. Yeah.
And you're going to have every NFL coach, every NFL team will have a representative there.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's a big deal.
And it's huge in terms of the future of Alabama's success in the NIL environment.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you can be the pipeline to the NIL, to the NFL, that can be the antidote to these NIL collectives that are popping up in areas where there are just more resources, like a Los Angeles or a Miami or an Austin, where you don't have that type of money in the state of Alabama.
We got to keep getting them in there into the NFL. And I'll be honest with you, in the last 5 years, it ain't been Bama. It's been the Georgia Bulldogs and Kirby Smart. It's crazy. I mean, that recruiting, they use all this stuff. So that's a good point you made. We need to continue. Hopefully this year we had more invited to the pro day than any other college, right? I think we had the most 11.
Yeah, I think it's 11. Right. Yeah, 11.
So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. All right, Jimmy, thank you for the Alabama update. Brought to you by Stevenson Air Conditioning. And again, Jason, that crew doing an incredible job. I don't care what time, day or night. If it's in the middle of the summer, you burn it up and it tears down, lightning storm, something hits it and it breaks down, they'll be out there to fix it quickly. Same thing. If it's really cold, anytime, they're there for you. They do an incredible job. Stevenson Air Conditioning, number one. Also, my good buddy Patrick at Turf Pro Pest Control, what a wonderful job they do. You want the yard to look absolutely beautiful, you got to go with those guys. They'll come out there and solve any kind of problems you have with insects or anything else. They do a great job. Turf Pro Pest Control, what a great team they have there. J. Michael's Restaurant on Thomas Drive, the best seafood, the coldest beer, the legendary J. Michael's Restaurant. Another legend, Chuck Tucker. Yeah, that Tucker name, yeah. That's the Tuckers that used to run Mosley High School. That's his baby boy. Chuck Tucker's doing a great job. The big-time realtors all go to Chuck Tucker. Mark Cowart, Beth Moby, everybody uses Chuck Tucker. South Oak Title and Closing, number one. Make sure you demand South Oak Title and Closing. We'll be right back. Big John's Behind the Glass. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, 102.1 Mariana, and 101.9 Port St. Joe.
On the Rocky Top down in the Tennessee hills. Ain't no smoggy smoke on Rocky Top, ain't no telephone bills. Once I had a girl on
ESPN Northwest Florida presents
Wrestling Against Cancer, number 8.
Come see premier professional wrestling with the American Machine, Chief Little Bear, Mr. 850, and exciting women's wrestling with Raven Knight and T-Games. Saturday, April 29th, Wrestling Against Cancer, number 8.
Number 8.
At the Bay Haven Charter Academy in Panama City. Doors open at 5:30, bell time 6:30. Proceeds benefit Donna Duncan.
More information, ESPNPC.com.
Thursday weather forecast becoming partly to mostly sunny today. High temperatures in the mid-70s. A southeast wind about 10. The water temperature in the Gulf is 70. Mostly clear, cool tonight around 62. And light winds overnight. Friday mostly sunny in the mid to upper 70s. Showers Friday night. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. For ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
By now, you've heard us talking about Tiger TV Pro. Hi, David Hayes from the Afternoon Underdogs, here to remind you about this incredible streaming service with over 6,000 premium channels. And the cost, you ask? $15 a month. Yes, only $15 a month. Every sports channel is available, including the ACC and SEC network, the NFL, NBA, MLB, HBO, Showtime, and thousands more. For more info, go to our website at espnpc.com. Scroll down and click the Tiger logo. Game days are always better at Dave & Buster's. That's because more TV inches, more food and drinks, more space, and more fun make the game we all know and love more special. Nothing beats seeing your favorite team take the field on the two 12-foot big screens or 26 75-inch TVs. Throw in the arcade experience and you've got a winning atmosphere that no other sports bar can deliver. Follow the fun at Dave & Buster's, Panama City Beach on Facebook and Instagram. Eat, drink, play, and watch sports at Dave & Buster's.
Tiger fans, join us weekday mornings at 8:15. It's the Bay Point Golf Auburn Update on the Coach James Hale Show in 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Jeremy just invited me to go to the Final Four, Alabama, Houston. Tommy, are we going to go with him?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's paying the way. I'm going.
Yeah. He's driving. I'm going. He's driving. Tommy's behind the gas. We'll have a great time.
Have a great time together.
All right, Auburn update. Whoa, Eagle. Hey. Auburn Update's brought to you. That's not good to talk about Alabama in Auburn Update. Auburn Update's brought to you by Bay Point Golf. You love golf. The only place you're going to go is Bay Point. Hey, I'm telling you, the best deal out there now. Everybody knows how things gotten expensive. The best deal going is having breakfast at Bay Point. Before the golfing match or after, the food is great. They give you a lot of food, and the price is outstanding. That's Bay Point. Get out there and have a great time. Auburn had their pro day. They've already had it. They had it Tuesday, and it was absolutely great. A lot of things happened there. All 32 teams were there. Auburn's got players now. Don't think Auburn didn't have ball players. Papo, I remember him coming out. It seems like everybody in the country wanted him as a five-star linebacker. And Jeremy, I thought he was 6'2". Mm-hmm. And when they got to Auburn and they really did the measurement on him, he was just over 6 foot. 224 pounds and looked lean and mean and muscular, can move. The kid's got great lateral movement, acceleration, quickness. Papo was a five-star out of high school, out of the great state of Georgia, getting plenty of attention from NFL scouts on Pro Day at Auburn. He put on an impressive show now. 32 teams were there on campus Tuesday. After he got through with everything, he's got a lot of calls from different teams, different organizations. He said a lot of meetings with different people. NFL draft is April 27th through the 29th. He said, my dream it seems like it's coming true. I'm finally walking through my dream, actually living my dream right now. And his dream is like any other college player, any other kid growing up like I did. Our dream was to play in the NFL, making that big time money. And that is where the NIL money's pretty nice. It's good. I'm not going to lie to you. If you're a great player like Bryce Young and some of these other guys, you might make a lot of money in college. But there's nothing like the money they make in the NFL. You can't compare to that. No. And if you're the first round pick, you're making big time money. This is signing bonuses, millions of dollars. And this young man here had a great career at Auburn. The problem was he was nagging injuries, hurt quite a bit. I don't know if the scouts, what they think about that. But that's football. That's college football. But he did a great job during the draft, the drills, the NFL linebacker drills. That's more or less what he focused on, getting ready for the NFL. And getting ready for Pro Day is what the linebacker drills were, and he felt like he did a really good job. He did say he dropped, they watch everything you do. They find a reason not to sign you. And he said one thing he was concerned about, he did drop quite a few passes. And you're saying he plays linebacker. Yeah, but what we're talking about, when he worked his drills, where he gets back in his zone coverage, breaking on the ball, he did a great job breaking the ball. He gets there, gets his hands on the ball, but he didn't catch the ball. He was concerned about that. Now, if you're a big NFL scout, is that really going to hurt you that much?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're watching all these other linebackers throughout the country and it's even, it's even, it can hurt you.
It can. Because the variables, it's a fine line here. So, yeah.
The nagging injuries that he's had, the missing playing time at college, does that hurt him? No, I don't think that. If he's healthy and they did a great job like they're talking about now, he's going to be in good shape.
Yeah, that's part of football.
Yeah.
So abilities are one thing. The injuries are something you really can't control in a physical, violent game.
Right. He felt really good about everything. Again, he was a 5-star coming out of college. Everybody in the country wanted the kid. He signed and went to Auburn, did a great job. His career at Auburn, listen to this, he had 256 total tackles. Guys, that's a lot of tackles in the SEC. 256 tackles. He had 8 quarterback sacks. He had 3 forced fumbles. He picked off 2 passes. Probably should have had more because he dropped some.
Yeah.
He dropped some. No, I was kidding. This is a great thing about him. This is what I love more than all these stats. He was selected team captain at Auburn. That tells you the character of the kid right there. Great kid. Again, I was surprised at his height. He was only 6 foot, 224, but looked really good. Did a good job. You can go online and watch some of it too. Auburn had some things happen that was pretty impressive there for some players. He wants to. This is what he said too. This is what Papo said. I want to go play for a great football team. I also want to be coached by good coaches. So he wants to go where they're winning and where they have outstanding coaches. I get that. And he wants to also say it's important I go where it's a good fit. So good luck to him. I hope he does an incredible job. I did have something else. Here it is. This is pro day at Auburn. This is incredible, Jeremy. Tommy, this kid, Jackson kid, wide receiver, Sherwood Jackson. First time he ran a 40 right there in front of all those scouts, he ran a 4.32 40.
Pretty swift.
That's pretty good. The second time he ran the 40, he broke every record at Auburn. He made history. Listen to this. He ran a 4.25 clocked.
Good Lord.
4.25 40. The fastest time in Auburn history.
That
Bo Jackson
anywhere.
Yeah.
That's pretty swift.
I'm like that. His stock just went up. I'm telling you right now. That's incredible, man. 4.25 40. So pro day really helped this young man. Derek Hall said he was pleased. Everybody knows who Derek Hall is. 4 seasons, outstanding player at Auburn. He was pleased with his pro day performance. It's kind of, I don't know about this veteran Auburn linebacker, Cameron. I think his name is Cameron Brown. I know his last name is Brown. He plans to enter the NCAA transfer portal. He was a reserve linebacker at Auburn. He actually didn't get on the field hardly at all, maybe on some special teams. But as far as linebacker, I don't think he's been on the field. So, sometimes you go to a school like me. I went to Southern Mississippi, great player, and I never got on the field. I mean, that just shows you poor development on their part. I blame the coaches. No, I'm kidding. But anyway, does that hurt them losing a kid that's never been on the field? No. Yeah. But, the kid wants to go where he can play. I get it. So, anyway. Other news coming out of Auburn, spring football is going on. 2 offensive linemen will miss, 2 players will miss the remainder of spring practice. Tate Johnson, offensive lineman, and a wide receiver, the other kid, Johnson, I forgot his first name. I didn't write it down. He's out also. Now, Tate, he dislocated his elbow, so he's going to be out the rest of the spring. The wide receiver, Johnson, he hurt his collarbone. He will miss the rest of spring football practice. Tommy, you know it. I know it. Your first year in coaching is the hardest. Your first spring practice is hard. They got to learn all Hugh Freeze's terminology on the offense, defense side of the ball. Players, coaches got to get to know one another. But I will say this. And I said it a lot, he's put together a really good coaching staff.
Yeah.
He kept the ones he needed to coach on there at Auburn that know. The guys he got can recruit. Hugh Freeze is going to recruit as good as anybody in the country, and he'll do whatever he's got to do. Mm-hmm. And now everything's legal. Yeah. I really think Auburn's going to, if the quarterback can play, and he talked about this, and we talked about this yesterday, they got to get the quarterback level up, and they've got to do a better job of receivers. That wide receivers is a place they've got to get some talent in there.
Yeah. I read about their offensive line coach, Jake Thornton. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty impressed with him. He was a grad assistant in Alabama in 2017. They went to Ole Miss for 2 years, and they recruited him from Ole Miss to Auburn. And reading about him, he sounds like he's a young coach. And as we all know, offensive line is where Auburn really needs to put some effort into. And he's cross-training those kids I think he's got 15 scholarship players on the offensive line. He's cross-trained at every position, which you have to do that. And but I've been impressed with reading about him and how he's working there at Auburn. So, and if they get that offensive line going and get a quarterback,
and
watch
Tommy,
out.
They went out and they did one of the better jobs getting kids to transfer in there for their needs, like offensive linemen. Mm-hmm. And the kid from East Carolina, I've seen some tape on. He's pretty doggone good now. And that's the one Illinois coach Bielema went nuts because they thought they had him. Everything's done deal. And at the last minute, Auburn's NIL deal was just so much better. He came to Auburn. That was a big pickup. And you're right, the guy can coach. They did that at Bama too. Now I think he learned some of that from Nick. Yep. They try to have the centers be able to play guard, play tackle, all those like you're talking about, which helps if somebody gets hurt. Look for Auburn to be better than what people think in year one. I really do believe that. Hugh Freeze brought that up too, so that's what his goal is. Can he win a national championship at Auburn? I say absolutely he can.
Sure.
Timing's everything. What if Nick retires next year or 2 years from now? That'd be the greatest thing ever happened to Hugh Freeze and Auburn Tigers.
Kind of replicates what happened a generation ago with Bryant and Dye.
Yeah. Now, I will not put Hugh Freeze in the same classification as Pat Dye yet. Mm-hmm. Pat Dye was a special coach, man, special man. We'll see. Yeah. Time will tell. Yeah. All right, let's talk about some of our greats people. I want to thank Jeremy and John Warren, all those wonderful people at Bay Point for sponsoring the Auburn Update. And don't forget, every Tuesday, 8:15, Andy Bertram will be here talking about, we're going to really hit on baseball now. He never gets a break, man. He's one of the few, and he says some of them in the West do it, not many in the East. He announces football, basketball, and baseball. There's no break. That's crazy. Yeah. That's crazy. Did Eli used to do that? I don't think Eli did.
No, Fife did. And, of course, Eli would do NASCAR.
Yeah. And Stewart now. Chris Stewart's doing all three, I think, this year because he's done basketball before.
Been pulled in.
Yeah, I think he's doing baseball, too. But he does a great job. So you can listen to all you want to hear about Auburn at 8:15 on Tuesdays. Don't forget about Paparazzi Gourmet Deli. I mentioned a minute ago, the best pizza you can get anywhere. Jason Kovaleski, love Jason. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Do you want to look better, feel better? Not many people can look like Tommy Santamont at that age. Jeremy Pridge's same thing. It's all for Max Fit Sports Nutrition. They can make it work for you. They do a great job. Dr. Ward, 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. If it doesn't look right, feel right, please do not put it off. Go see Dr. Ward. There's offices throughout Northwest Florida. 5 minutes can save your life. 5 minutes can save your life. Think about that. We'll be right back. ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Put me in cold. I'm ready to play today. Put me in cold.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Colin Cowherd. Teams not in the Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes are saying they would not give up a first-round pick for him. 2 years ago, Matt Stafford, with a losing record, went for 2 first-round picks, a second-round pick, and a Super Bowl quarterback, Jared Goff. Aaron Rodgers today, second-round pick, maybe a third-rounder next year conditional.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Weekdays, 11 to 1, ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Hi, this is Matt Lewis with Reliable Hydraulic Solutions. We offer comprehensive diagnostics and repair service for all types of hydraulic units, such as hydraulic and pneumatic cylinders, hydraulic pumps, motors, and valves, as well as a broad range of hydraulic hoses and O-rings. Give us a call at Reliable Hydraulic Solutions at 850-326-3000 for any of your hydraulic needs. Or come see us on Commercial Drive off Jinx Avenue in Panama City.
Living on the Gulf Coast, we have beautiful beaches, clear water, and amazing marine life. Want to bring a piece of the ocean into your home or office with an amazing aquarium? Gulf Coast Aquarium, the area's only certified platinum CCHEM dealer. Their staff are all certified CCHEM specialists. Gulf Coast Aquarium can install, design, maintain, and finance your own piece of the Gulf. Gulf Coast Aquarium, powered by CCHEM, with over 40 years as a U.S.-based manufacturer of quality aquarium products. Online at GulfCoastAquarium.com. Gulf Coast Aquarium, where it's more than just a tank.
Ben and Deb Collins, owners of Bay Guns and Gear, have been in business since 2010, offering new firearms and accessories with a huge selection available for your hunting needs and personal defense. Turn to Bay Guns and Gear. They have the weapon for you. Discount pricing. And if you can't find what you're looking for, they'll special order it for you. Bay Guns and Gear, across from Grease Pro at 3115 Highway 77. Visit their website, baygunsandgear.com.
I don't always talk to Alabama fans, but when I do, I ask for large fries. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. Let's talk about some Sweet 16. It gets cranked up tonight, Jeremy. What's going on tonight? First game is, I know Tennessee plays tonight, correct?
I believe so here. Florida Atlantic is playing Tennessee at 8 o'clock. So kudos to Florida Atlantic. We're looking for state schools being represented. Well, you've got a couple of state schools, Florida Atlantic. They had that 9-16 game. I don't think there'd ever been a
9-16.
Because they had Farley Dickinson that pulled the huge upset against Purdue. What should have been the 1 seed playing the 8.
Yeah.
That's right. So we had the 9-16 game, and Florida Atlantic won. Miami also is still playing, and we were talking about Houston during the break. Now they'll play tomorrow night. But Miami's men and Miami's women knocked out Indiana. Both men and women knocked out the Hoosiers, which is pretty remarkable feat given how much basketball is loved in the state of Indiana. So Houston, Miami. But tonight's games, 4 games on the slate. It'll kick off with Kansas State, Michigan State. Did you see that clip of Tom Izzo breaking that clipboard?
No.
During a TV timeout, he was upset about something. He grabbed the clipboard, and he popped it just like a toothpick.
Who was that?
Izzo for Michigan State. He was fired up. Good coach, hard-nosed. He was very emotional after that win that they had to get to the Sweet 16. They knocked off Marquette. And actually picked that game correctly. I know that the non-Power 5 get a lot of love with some higher seeds, and the Gonzagas of the world. They are good programs, but it's hard to go against these Power 5 schools that are battle tested and ready when you've played in SEC and Big Ten competition. And he is a good coach. They kick it off tonight at I think it's 5:30 first tip. And then other games tonight, we've got Arkansas out of the Southeastern Conference. They had a big win against Kansas, knocking off a 1 seed. And we've talked about Arkansas in the SEC tournament, so they might be a sleeper program. Well, they didn't do a whole lot in the SEC tournament, but here they are.
They play good defense.
They play good hard-nosed, fundamental basketball. Going to play a tough UConn team. That game's at 6:15 tip-off.
No, go back. When's that game?
They're 6:15. So you got
that's tonight.
Yeah,
Arkansas 6:15.
5:30 for Kansas State, Michigan State. Arkansas, UConn 6:15. I kind of like the Razorbacks in this matchup. I think there's a real chance they could continue this run, and they may start to talk about them being sort of a Cinderella, but they're a good ball team, very good ball team. 2 games in the nightcap. You've got the Florida Atlantic Tennessee game that we mentioned, another SEC school playing. Florida Atlantic, kudos to them, for making the run. I think tonight probably ends it. Tennessee could win it all. They beat Alabama during the season in Knoxville, but that's a very good basketball team. They can also be equally bad. It's a streaky ball club, and that's the part of what Tennessee is going to show up. So I think they've got a good draw with Florida Atlantic, and as far as that little foursome, the winner gets Kansas State, Michigan State. Kansas State's probably the one to go to the Final Four out of those 4.
I agree.
Yeah. And then the other night game, late game tonight, Gonzaga UCLA. Now
UCLA is pretty good.
I've got UCLA in my finals. I do. They've been a great program, but I know we're talking about two West Coast schools. But what a pairing! You've got the old blue blood, historic, UCLA against Mark Few and Gonzaga, who has just been knocking on the door, and has not really been able to break through. I mean, this has that David Goliath kind of.
What time is that one starting?
That one's going to start at 8:45 tonight, so you're going to have to stay up late this evening.
Yeah, I think there are two stations, right? One CBS and the other was
TBS, I think.
Is that right? CBS,
that's right.
TBS? I think sure. Yeah.
I don't get either one of them.
Yeah, you do. I'll show you how to do it.
Yeah, the tournament.
I'll tell you how to do it.
What's funny, the tournament's the one time a year I watch, like True TV. Didn't even know they existed until that first year. Tomorrow night we have the other half of the Sweet 16. And, we talked about Alabama, San Diego State, playing. That's going to be a good one. Creighton, Purdue will be the other side of that foursome. And, Purdue, or Creighton, Princeton, I'm sorry, Creighton, Princeton. Princeton beat Purdue and shocked the world. Creighton and Princeton here, get my notes straight here. Princeton beat Missouri and advanced in the Battle of the Tigers, and then Creighton pushed on. Alabama's got to be liking what they see here.
They're in the right league. I mean, the right bracket or whatever you call it. They got some. Yeah. Nobody's ranked even higher than a 4 seed. They got to play, right?
Right. So if they can take care of San Diego State, the winner of Creighton Princeton awaits, and the winner of that one punches their ticket to the Final Four.
Yeah. Now, Alabama, if they beat San Diego State, did they play the winner of the Miami-Houston game? Was it fourth?
No.
Creighton Princeton.
Yeah, Creighton Princeton. Yeah.
And then the other foursome is absolutely brutal. You've got 1, 2, 3, and 5 all remaining. Houston and Miami, with Miami's win over Indiana, and then Xavier, Texas.
Dang, that's 4 tough ones.
4 tough ones right there.
That's on Friday, right?
They're tomorrow night as well. Yeah. That's exactly right. And I think Houston gets it done. They're a really good program. Miami's had a great run. But what does that Houston-Texas game look like for the state of Texas?
You won't be getting a ticket for that?
There won't be a ticket to be had on that one. With the winner going to the final. So, the Final Four. Mercy. So,
Alabama's going to be pulling for Miami, I would say.
Yeah, we'll pull for Miami, pull for Gonzaga. At this point, everybody there's done the work to get there, but going to be a great weekend of basketball. Who are your Final Four?
Hey, it's all SEC. We got 3 SEC schools in. All 3 going to make the Final Four. We got 3 SEC schools in the Sweet 16s. Any other conference have more than 3 right now? I don't think so.
No. And, every year we hear about how wonderful the Big Ten is and how deep they are.
Yeah, not this year.
I think we've got Michigan State remaining, and that's it from the Big Ten.
Yeah.
That's it.
We got Tennessee, Alabama, Arkansas, like you just pointed out.
Yep.
All in different regions. 8th time this could have happened, okay?
We could have we can claim Texas. They're almost ours.
That's right, yeah. All right, back in 2014, you had Kentucky and Florida both made it out. I guess the Final Four. 2006, you had Florida, LSU. 96, you had Kentucky, Mississippi State. 94, you had Arkansas, Florida. Nobody's facing any. Look at this and tell me I'm wrong. Nobody in the SEC is facing anything better than a 4 seed in the Sweet 16.
Right.
So we could get 3 in there, man.
It's very possible. Yep.
I wish we would. Man. And remember the commissioner pushed for this about 4 or 5 years ago?
But you know what will happen? We'll have to expand the field of 64 to 128.
All right, no. Jason Koleski says ESPN. ESPN's behind this. I'm telling you. They love,
conspiracy.
It's all about ESPN and SEC combined. They're in bed together.
Yeah.
But wouldn't that be something crazy if we had all 3?
It would be. And I get why the powers that be don't necessarily like all inside conference finals. I mean, Alabama, Georgia in football. We've seen it in baseball in the College World Series. But when you're the best.
When you're the best, don't brag about it. Just tell everybody you are the best. It's all about, it just means more.
Yeah.
It just means more. SEC.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, too, about this. When we were talking about Saban, I covered it yesterday. People, all the national media going crazy.
With his visit to Nate Oates.
Well, no, what he said about throwing Nate Oates under the bus, about things, there's no such thing as wrong place, wrong time. If you've been around him, you go into his coaching clinics, you watch him coach on the field, that's the stuff he just says. He was not going after the basketball coach. And sure enough, like you just pointed out, the next day he was at the basketball practice talking to kids before they left to go to Louisville.
Yeah.
So I cannot believe how people look into things. They try to create a negative spin on everything.
Well, that's what you have to do there. And if you can make it, get your headline to the front, and then you're good to go. But you're right. I mean, it's kind of a general statement that he's made. I mean, you can look back over his time of handling things in the football program, and there's some inconsistency on that. So there's the general piece that he said, there's no such thing as being wrong place, wrong time, but he's had to handle his own player matters over the years and has been challenged and questioned and as to whether or not he was tough enough or,
and he
penalties.
was kind of rude about it.
Mm-hmm.
He was said like he wants, and he got on Fine Ball one summer that SEC Media Days, remember that?
Yeah, and I forget the player involved, but, there were real calls for him to dismiss a player from a program, and he took a very grace-filled stance of, if I turn this kid away, this is his one shot, best shot, what's going to happen next? He's going to be on the streets. He's going to find himself spiraling out, and so the best opportunity for him was to remain in the program, even though he had made some violation. We've talked about this even with high school kids. Extracurriculars
saves them.
Save folks.
There's no doubt about it. We get back, I got to ask you a question. Do we have a problem in the SEC? And when we get back, we'll talk about that. All right, let's talk about some of our great people right now. Dr. Chad Mitchell, a legend here in Bay County. Next year will be his 24th year on the Bay County sidelines. If you get injured, go see Chad. You can listen to him every Monday right here on Northwest Florida. The legendary Chad Mitchell. Also, we talked about it a minute ago. Bay Point Golf. You love golf. There's only one place to go. That is Bay Point, man. They do an incredible job. Rudy's Barbecue on Bat Beach Road. Jeremy, that place is incredible. They got TVs everywhere. Mm-hmm. They got a great staff. Ethan Boyd does an incredible job. If you want something catered, give them a call. They'll be out there for you. And also, they got a big room, the Lorelei Layton room back there. Rudy Two's back room. You can have all kind of parties. You can have a meeting. You can have a banquet. You can do anything you want back there. Great place, great atmosphere, but the food's incredible. If you love barbecue, they have the best, not even close. But try the turkey plate. Try the turkey sandwich. You'll absolutely love it. You want something Easter, if you want any kind of big holiday coming up, let's call them. They'll get a turkey for you. They'll get a ham for you. They do it all. They are incredible. Rudy's Barbecue on Bat Beach Road. We'll be right back. Man, it's gone by pretty quick today. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, 102.1 Mariana, and 101.9 Port St. Joe.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The NCAA Men's Basketball Championship Tournament plays here.
For the first time in school history, Princeton is going to the Sweet 16.
Listen to the madness.
The 8th seed knocks out the returning champion Jayhawks.
Exclusively on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And that right there is the explanation point.
Thursday weather forecast becoming partly to mostly sunny today. High temperatures in the mid-70s. A southeast wind about 10. The water temperature in the Gulf is 70. Mostly clear, cool tonight around 62. And light winds overnight. Friday mostly sunny in the mid to upper 70s. Showers Friday night. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. For ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Hi, this is Matt Lewis Lewis with Reliable Hydraulic Solutions. We offer comprehensive diagnostics and repair service for all types of hydraulic units, such as hydraulic and pneumatic cylinders, hydraulic pumps, motors, and valves, as well as a broad range of hydraulic hoses and O-rings. Give us a call at Reliable Hydraulic Solutions at 850-326-3000 for any of your hydraulic needs. Or come see us on Commercial Drive off Jinx Avenue in Panama City.
Game days are always better at Dave & Buster's. That's because more TV inches, more food and drinks, more space, and more fun make the game we all know and love more special. Nothing beats seeing your favorite team take the field on the two 12-foot big screens or 26 75-inch TVs. Throw in the arcade experience and you've got a winning atmosphere that no other sports bar can deliver. Follow the fun at Dave & Buster's Panama City Beach on Facebook and Instagram. Eat, drink, play, and watch sports at Dave & Buster's.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local from the J. Michael Studio.
Boss, I got good news and bad news. Well, what's the bad news? Your hat's on fire.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. Thank you, Big John. I was daydreaming again. I'm getting old. It's time to retire, baby. I got to sleep in. No, let's get. I was going to ask something serious. You hit it a little bit a while ago. You were talking about how important it is to get your guys into the NFL. That's what Saban and made a living off of, selling that when they go to recruiting people. But truly, what's happened the last 5 years, you go look what's happened, what Jeremy's doing. What Kirby's doing in Georgia. I mean, Jeremy, they beat Bama, win the national championship. 15 guys are drafted. I forgot it. I think it was a record number in the first round. And all they do is win another national championship. They're going to have another load of guys get drafted this year. Are we really seeing the change in the guard? You look at their schedule, they got one game. That's at Tennessee. They win that, they're going undefeated. They'll have the SEC championship game will be tough, and they'll have 3 tough games the entire year. Bama schedules Texas. We might lose to Texas week 2.
Absolutely.
We got LSU. We got Tennessee at home. And I think Ole Miss is at home this year, too.
Texas at home, too.
Yep.
Texas at home. And you know what they're doing? 11 o'clock kickoff. Why are we doing? I guess maybe in the contract they said everything had to be the same.
What's that now?
11 o'clock kickoff.
Texas game?
Yes.
Probably because Texas wanted to get home.
I don't know.
I had not heard that announced.
Yeah, I saw it. Now I hope it's wrong. That stuck out in my mind. I said, why are they doing that? We have never played a big time game at 11 o'clock in Tuscaloosa.
Now Alabama's still showing it as to be determined.
Okay, I hope that's correct.
Okay.
Because on some other national, you know what was out of Texas? It was out of the Texas site. The game would be played. I guess they're assuming that it'll be 11 o'clock kickoff like it was in Texas. I hope you're right on that. I figured it'd be like an 8 o'clock primetime game.
Yeah, see, I think that's even before CBS picks it up because they have the U.S. Open and ESPN gets the full slate. I fully expect that to be
a night game.
7 o'clock.
I'm going to that one.
Yep.
You going?
I don't think I'm going to go to that one because the next weekend we've got South Florida down in Tampa. And
see, that's the reason I don't think I'm going to go to South Florida. I take it back. I saw Texas play Auburn when Suge Jordan was coached back in early 70s. Over in Jacksonville, the Gator Bowl. We drove there.
Yeah, we did Austin last year, but I've been to Tuscaloosa. I don't need to see the Longhorns run around.
We have gone heading Georgia. Are we seeing a change in the guard?
Well, imitation is the most sincere form of flattery, and Kirby's gone and basically replicated what he saw during his time as a DC at Alabama.
Yeah, and actually he's done a better job.
Yeah, fine-tuned it.
He really has.
Put his own stamp on it.
I got what he's done is incredible. I think they're going to win it. A lot of people, I was talking to Brandt, he goes, there's no way. Bama had all those chances when Saban was there. They kicked 6, cost him 1. They lost to Clemson one time. I think it was in Tampa. Well, anyway, they've had their opportunities. It's hard to do it, but if they can stay healthy with that schedule, they got the best chance anybody else.
Oh, absolutely. And, everybody's going to knock Georgia's schedule, and I'll be one of those to do it as well. But the SEC did pull the Oklahoma-Georgia game. That was
Right.
supposed to be on there. So, and of course, Georgia has the annual game with Georgia Tech. As to whether or not they really should play that every year is even a question among some of the Tech and Bulldog fans, because it's not been a relevant ball game for years. So they're kind of boxed in. You have the annual game with Florida in Jacksonville. So they have some scheduling quirks, and I can see Kirby kind of lashing out about, having to play every year in Jacksonville, though. The Georgia fans I know in this area love not having to go to Athens.
I'm telling you right now, I'll be shocked if that game's not moved to Athens. Knowing him, he has talked about that. He recruits like no other. Okay, him and Saban are the best recruiters in college football. He wants another weekend in Athens where he can recruit the heck out of those guys. Even if they do change the rules and let the recruits come on and all that kind of stuff, it's not in Athens.
Nope.
It's in Jacksonville, Florida. He wants them in Athens. He wants that home game. That's going to happen. Pat Dye wanted to move the game from Legion Field to Auburn, Jordan-Hare Stadium, and he did it.
Well,
there's nothing they could do to stop it.
I mean, y'all been to games in Jacksonville like I have. You've been to municipal stadiums in the NFL cities. It's just a different feel than when you're on the campus at any school.
Yep. And
there's a lot of players in Jacksonville now, high school players.
Yeah, but I'm saying that he wants to show. They spend all this money on those facilities at Georgia. He wants to show them off. That game, I'll be shocked if he didn't have that game changed.
Yeah, you talk about whether it's the changing of the guard. That's still out there. Everybody talked about Alabama not making the playoff. They had the 2 losses. I really thought it was better that Alabama didn't, because Georgia seemed to be a complete ball team. I don't think anybody could have beaten Georgia, but Alabama didn't have to play Georgia. So in the last 2 games, Alabama and Georgia have split. Had Alabama and Georgia played this past year and Georgia won the game, which I believe they would have, you could make a real strong argument. But Alabama's still out there. They took Georgia behind the woodshed in the SEC game, and then Georgia gets the national championship game.
I'm different. I wanted Bama to play, and it's all about the matchup. Alabama's offense would have been a nightmare for Georgia. You look what Ohio State did to them. Ohio State probably could have, would have, should have won that game.
Yeah,
they were right
I
there.
I guarantee you Alabama played them a better game than Texas Christian.
Oh, there's no doubt. Alabama's offense wouldn't have been. Could Alabama stop Georgia's offense? That was the deal.
That's the deal. But you go back to Kirby and the program he's building. Saban has all of these, sort of metrics he uses. You can see that with Georgia. Georgia's big. They are huge. And, kind of going by that sort of formula, he has built the mirror image. And they will likely play this year. I mean, Alabama's schedule's a lot tougher. They're going to be bruised up, banged up. Georgia could coast to their
Georgia's a great job.
game.
One time I thought Florida was a better job than Georgia. Not anymore. I see what's going on in the state of Florida for its high school coaches. They're a lot of them are leaving to go to Georgia. They pay the coaches so much. It means so much more in high school football in Georgia it does now in Florida. We're not a southern state. No. Everybody moves in here. We're not true to a southern state like we used to be. We still are, but not as much as we have. I'm telling you what, it might be good we're not going to have East and West divisions.
That was my next.
Charge is LSU and Brian Kelly.
Yeah,
I think you got to watch out what LSU's doing. They're going to be good. That FSU game, whoever wins that game, that might be a kickstart to the playoffs.
Well, the shift to the new format, whatever that ends up looking like, will be the check on Georgia just sitting there camping out in the East.
Yeah, they're going to have to.
They're going to have to play more ball games now. They're going to have to play Texas. They're going to have to play. I mean, they haven't been to Kyle Field yet.
Right. They're going to have to play Oklahoma, and we're not, okay. In a bowl game, it's okay. You got 3 weeks to get ready. But when you're playing Tennessee, Florida, then all of a sudden you got to jump on Texas, Alabama. It changes. Everything changes.
One more year of seeing that steady diet of Kentucky, Vanderbilt, South Carolina, Missouri. Yeah, I mean that's. We
didn't mind when y'all were beating us. I mean, when we were beating y'all. Now that y'all beating Alabama, we're going to point those things out.
Who does Georgia have in their 3-game permanent when they switch to the
Florida,
Auburn,
South Carolina?
South Carolina, I think. Yeah.
No, I don't think it was South. It was Florida. I got it written. I got to go back and look at it.
I think it was Tennessee.
No, in Tennessee.
I'll have to go back.
I think it was South Carolina.
Florida and Auburn are in there.
For sure, Florida. I think it was South Carolina. I'm pretty sure. It wasn't Tennessee. Bama's was Tennessee, LSU. and Florida was Oklahoma. They had Oklahoma. They had Florida. Georgia. Who was Florida's other one? South Carolina?
No, Florida had Oklahoma.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Who was the other one? I think South Carolina.
It may have been.
Hurry up, look that up because we got a break coming. We got to go. All right, I had it all written down. I'm too lazy to go look it up.
Okay.
We just make up a name. I think it's Surfside.
Georgia will get Middle Tennessee on that.
Hey, Alabama, that one weekend, seriously, Georgia got Middle Tennessee State or something like that, and Alabama's got Tennessee something. It's like the state of Tennessee weaklings are playing Alabama, Georgia on the same weekend.
Okay, I'm gonna see.
How much time? We're running out. 1 minute, 30 seconds.
Plenty of time.
All right, Georgia, Kentucky.
Kentucky, not South Carolina.
Yep.
Kentucky.
And,
Auburn, and Florida.
Yep.
Florida's was Oklahoma, Georgia, and South Carolina.
Yep, Georgia, South Carolina.
I'll tell you, Georgia getting some good stuff here.
But when they go to that round robin, when they get out of that and play 9 or 8 teams throughout the SEC, it's going to be tough. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thank you all so much for coming in. We got y'all next week. Tommy, you kill anything next week?
I'll be gone. I'll be down South Florida fishing. It's a fishing trip.
Okay, we'll have a national show next Thursday. You going to be here next Thursday?
Yep. I can do a fishing part of it.
We'll call you. We'll call you as you fishing. You can talk. Big John, you going to be here tomorrow? No. I'm not either. Let's take off. Hey, I'm hoping now Ryan Mulvey's going to be here, Jim Brandt, and Jason Kovaleski. We should have fun on Fun Friday. David's got a great show lined up for the Underdogs this afternoon. They do an incredible job. Feinbaum 6 to 10 right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. How much longer I got? 10, 5, 4, 3. We're out. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The NCAA Men's Basketball Championship Tournament plays here.
Off target, right hand follow. Alba